The murder of Cora Crippen is one of the most notorious crime stories in British criminal history. It captured the imagination of the world as the first ever arrest made thanks to the recent invention of wireless telegraphy. However, even today, opinion is divided about the guilt of her husband, Dr. Hawley Harvey Crippen. I remember one night, shortly before 1 o'clock, I heard two terrible screams, one immediately after the other. Shopkeeper Mrs. Glackner. The couple had met in New York City, where Dr. Crippen was working as a homeopath. Cora was a music hall performer using the stage name Belle Elmore. They married in 1894 and 3 years later moved to London, England. Unable to find success as a singer, Cora became the treasurer of the Music Hall Ladies Guild. Her husband opened a dental practice in New Oxford Street. The marriage was disastrous, with both Cora and Crippen having affairs. Crippen's mistress from around 1907 was Ethel Leneve, whom he had hired as a typist. Ethel was considerably younger than Crippen, and her demure, passive personality was the opposite of his domineering wife's. On the 31st of January 1910, Cora and Crippen held a dinner party at their home at 39 Hilldrop Crescent, Holloway, North London. After they said goodbye to their guests that evening, Cora was never seen alive again, marking the beginning of an unprecedented investigation that spanned the Atlantic Ocean and involved a recent technological advance and some sharp-eyed detective work. 2 days after the dinner party, Ethel visited the Music Hall Ladies Guild with a letter purporting to come from Cora that announced she had been called away to America and was resigning as treasurer. Curiously, it was in Crippen's handwriting. It read in part, "Dear friend, please forgive me a hasty letter and any inconvenience I may cause you. But I have just had news of the illness of a near relative, and at only a few hours' notice, I am obliged to go to America." In April, Crippen wrote a letter to Cora's stepsister, informing her that Cora had travelled to New York and passed away. It included these lines of explanation. "Unfortunately, on the way out, my poor Cora caught a severe cold, and not having, while travelling, a chance to take care of herself, it settled on her lungs, later developing to pleuropneumonia. She wished not to frighten me, so kept writing to me not to worry about her, and that it was only a slight matter. I next heard by cable that she was dangerously ill." That month, Crippen wrote another letter, this time to his son, Hawley Crippen, from an earlier marriage. He claimed that Cora had died in San Francisco, where she had travelled to settle some business relating to an estate. After receiving this communication, Hawley didn't hear from his father again, but he did receive some peculiar letters from members of the Music Hall Guild of London, asking if Cora had died at his home in Los Angeles. Crippen was clearly telling different people different things concerning Cora's disappearance, but they all had the same outcome, that Cora was dead. In July, Cora's friend, Kate Williams, a professional strongwoman better known as Vulcana, contacted police to report the mysterious circumstances of Cora's disappearance. Police didn't take her account seriously until they were contacted by John Nash and his wife, Lil Hawthorne, who were friends of both Cora and Scotland Yard Superintendent Frank Forrest. Detective Chief Inspector Walter Dew, famous for his work on the hunt for Jack the Ripper, was assigned the case. Dew quickly learned about the inconsistent letters that Crippen had written. His first task was to establish the circumstances surrounding Cora's alleged demise, but as he later recalled, "I could not find any trace of the woman's death.